Good morning, crazy crafters. This is Millie. I started this channel to share DIYs and various crafts with you. I also want to let you know that I have an Etsy shop called Millie's Trading Post. I have lots of cool finds on there, including my own creations and various cool stuff I find all over. One of the items is the earrings. These are Dentinium shell earrings made by my Navajo and Sioux friend, and they're available on my shop. This is going to be a love never fails sign, and I got this heart form from the Dollar Tree, as well as the doily, and this is the love never fails calendar page from one of last year's Dollar Tree calendars. And today we're going to make this heart, and we're going to use this as the hanger, and we're going to take these petals also from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to cover with petals here like this. And so let's get started. The first thing we're going to need to do is paint. Move these out of the way. So we'll take this hanger off. We will be replacing that with these beads, bead garland. Okay, that's done. Now, I am going to use Rust-Oleum chalk paint. This is an old can, about a year old, and it's almost used up. I'm going to open it up, and then you can use any brush for this project. If you want texture, you can use a chip brush or you can use a foam brush. It doesn't matter, it's going to be covered. So just make sure you pick the side you want to paint on. I think I'm going to do this side. And I'm going to use a foam brush because we are covering the sign with other things and not showing off the wood. A foam brush is perfectly fine. So I'm going to paint this, and we'll come back. Okay, so we're back. The paint has dried, and while it was drying, my husband and I went for a walk in the snow. It's really fun. So I sanded this because really these forms are very crude and should be sanded. I painted it first and then sanded it so it's smooth. And now we're going to place the doily on the heart, and then we're going to trace it with a pencil because we're not gluing it down until after the petals are glued on. So just trace center as best you can. It'll be covered up, so you don't have to worry about writing on the heart. And this is just to help us with gluing where to glue the petals on. Okay, so there we have it. Erase this. Okay, and we'll deal with the pink heart later. So now we have our line for the petals, and I like to use Fabri-Tac for this. It's a really good adhesive. You can use a glue gun, but glue gun adhesive tends to dry out after a while, and this adhesive is very permanent. Now what I'm going to do is just overlap the petal a little bit on the outline of the heart, and I'm going to do a white outline, and then with these petals, and then I'm going to add the pink behind it, and basically kind of mix it up, and then it'll be like a heart-shaped flower around the doily and the love sign. So just add a little glue and just start placing them like that. You can hear the fire popping in the background. And I want to make sure that where it's glued, it's flat, so that when I attach the pink heart, it lies flat. So I will just continue doing this all the way around. Oops. And I didn't want to have a video where you guys were watching paint dry. Now you're watching glue dry. But I want to just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. So then we will take the pink ones and put them in behind, staggering. I think these petals are so pretty. And just stick your finger in there. Oh gosh, that looks so nice. So fun. I love the color pink. Makes me happy. And when this sign is done, it will also go in my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in purchasing it, check it out. I just love this Fabri-Tac glue. It's so reliable. And for paper and fabric, I use Fabri-Fix. Also really good glue. Now, for heavier things, I might use super glue. Like I'll probably use super glue for hangers and wood blocks, attaching wood blocks together. So I finished gluing the petals on. It took about 30 minutes probably. And the next step is to get our papers ready for gluing on. And what we're going to do here is, oh, you can hear the ice rain coming down outside and the fire in the background. So we're going to take this Worn Lipstick Distress Oxide ink, and we're going to ink the doily. The paper that this heart is sitting on is freezer paper, and it's nice because nothing sticks to it. So we're just kind of highlighting the texture in this with the ink. It brings out the embossing, and it also, I think it helps close the gap between this kind of salmon pink and this very pinky pink on the petals. And gives it kind of that age distress look. Cool effect. And you can see the little embossing, little ridges there. Try to get those, bring them out. And then I see a little irregularity here, so I'm going to just another one. That's where probably these come in a roll or long sheet. And be a little more up here. Nice. That looks good. And now and then this piece is going to be glued onto here. So we're just going to do the same. Bring out the texture of the tear. So, a lot of pink in this DIY. I love using distress inks on my projects. I also like to use the Waverly Wax paint. Make it look used and old and farmhouse-like. Okay, so that's going to go on there. But first, we're going to glue the doily to the heart. And what are we going to use? We're going to use a Scotch Crete permanent glue stick. I love this product. It stays wet just long enough to be able to reposition, and it doesn't dry out and cause your things to fall off. It's a really good product. And it's hard to find too. I always see the repositionable one in the store, but not the permanent. So I give a good coating on here, on the wood side, and then a good coating on the doily, because we want it to stick, especially the edges. And you want to be careful that you don't tear the doily. It's very thin. Okay, that should be good. And I always put the lid right back on because I don't want it to get a hard crust on top. I like to stand up. Sorry about the chair squeaking. But when I stand up, I can center better. And that looks pretty good. Go through. Now we will glue this. Also quite thin. And we're going to have this flower here. So that's good. And then we're going to use the Fabri-Tac to glue the flower on. You can use hot glue too, but since this is fabric to paper, I will use this. Wow, that looks nice. Okay, last thing is the hanger. Oh, and that felt flower I got at Dollar Tree. In a pack of 4. You can make them too. All you do is basically cut out shapes like this, and then you put glue here and you roll them up like that. And you keep rolling around until you have a flower. Very easy. But these were already made. And then this hanger is garland I also got at the Dollar Tree. And we're going to stick it through and glue it. I might have to use hot glue. And let's see. I'm gonna stick this one through. I could tie it. And I think I'm going to have to get my other glue out, but there it is. Alright, so the Fabri-Tac is drying. It'll give it a permanent bond, but I went and got my glue gun to add some extra glue. And we'll just there we go. Okay. Okay. And now the next step is to cover the back. I always like my products to be finished, and I usually cover the back with paper or where I paint it. So now we're going to flip this over and there we go. And I'm going to trace the outside. Cut it out. I always cut a little bit larger because I can sand off the excess or use a razor blade. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper. Uh-oh. It looks like I'm on the last legs of this. And let's at least get the edges. Okay. There we go. And there we have our finished product. So there you have it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this craft today. This sign will be available in my Etsy shop, Millie's Trading Post. Here's the sign we made together. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. So if you like my channel and you like what I'm showing you, please press the like button and subscribe, because I will have many more creations coming forward on this channel.